We just saw a national record in the Women's College Distance Medley Championship of America. The men are set to take the stage next with a pretty tough act to follow. But we are back once again on FloTrack to bring it to you on day 2 of the Penn Relays presented by Toyota. This is the College Men's Distance Medley COA presented by Retail Sites in honor of Dave Johnson. And Corey, we got another exciting race on our hands as we've been looking forward to all day. It's just our second Collegiate Championship of America, but there's a wheel on the line.
Yeah, and I think the two V's stand out for me. It's Virginia, Villanova. Virginia, obviously, a very talented team. They ran, number 3 indoors to finish third at NCAAs with Connor Murphy, Alex Sherman, Alex Leaf, and Gary Martin. Gary Martin is a hometown boy, going to anchor this team home. And considering what the women just did, I think the men can return the favor and try to have a good performance here. But the team I'm actually looking forward to is Oregon. Who are they going to line up? Simeon Birnbaum is on the field list, but I believe he has an injury, so I'm just kind of curious sort of how they're fielding their roster here for the DMR.
We're going to watch and see who the Ducks deploy. We've also got Georgetown, Michigan, Duke, Texas A&M, and Navy. So only 8 teams out there. We'll see what kind of race they want to make this as. So far, it looks like they are moving pretty pedestrian through this 1,200-meter leg. This is a jog fest so far, Corey.
Yeah, and not too surprising to start things out, but Virginia, I think, has the most experience in this event, and they have the guys who understand how to get it done. Gary Martin has set all kinds of school records over the last year, and he will be a joy to watch close here. But the guy I'm also interested in seeing is Alex Leaf at 800 meters.
If we talk about 800 guys, one guy that I'm looking forward to is Georgetown's Tenona Matsatsa. Last time we saw him on this track was New Balance Nationals Outdoor, won the national championship there. So definitely look out for him. But we're on the 1,200-meter leg now. That was 400 meters.
And that's Murphy shouldered up against Oregon's Reinhardt Harrison, the Florida legend, out there competing with the platinum blonde hair.
It's crazy because we're in the college scene right now, but a lot of these guys in this field are so famous for having been sub-4 high school milers. Gary Martin, who we already mentioned, Simeon Birnbaum, who is pending. But a lot of exciting guys to come throughout this race. Connor Murphy for Virginia still controlling the inside, but there's Villanova with Charlie O'Donovan moving up on his shoulder.
That actually looks like Sean Dolan. They might have switched the legs slightly, and Waukee is an 800-meter guy, so I could imagine them kind of deploying him on that leg.
If we look at the rest of their lineup, I wouldn't be surprised if Liam Murphy remains on anchor, as he was the one who brought Villanova home to their 21st Championship of America wheel in the 4x-mile last year, but so far it's all UVA out front controlling the tempo.
Yeah, and here's the windup. Here's what we tend to see in the 1,200 leg, with just these guys just start to go each lap kind of clipping the time off, and it starts to become a sprint.
All 8 teams still in it. There's Nova
out in front. Harrison now matching the move on Dolan. They're all kind of going on the backstretch here, really trying to get that front position.
A little bit of elbowing and jostling. UVA trying to come back. Big surge by Connor Murphy. He's back in a second over Harrison, and he's got his sights on Sean Dolan of Villanova, who still leads.
Murphy sticking his nose in it. He's going to be in a great position to hand off to his teammate here. It's going to be Dolan, Murphy, and Reinhardt for Nova, Virginia, and Oregon.
Georgetown and Texas A&M the next as they get ready to hand over into the 400 legs. Nova will have inside position, and the Who's trying to get it back. But it's going to be the Wildcats for the moment. Now the Cavs in the front.
And that depth really comes into play here at that 400 leg. Oh, look at A&M. They have our guy, A&M, really moving. Oh, he's not even listed.
Wow. Texas A&M.
That's their top 400-meter runner from A&M. Got capable of going 44. He's in one leg, kind of pulled them back into consideration here.
He's done a lot of work through 320 with UVA right on his outside, but the Aggies are in a good position heading into the 3rd leg. 800 meters, a fight for the rail goes to A&M, but there in 3rd is Georgetown. Looks like Tenona Matsatsa's got it for the Hoyas. He'll be dangerous.
He will. Matsatsa has run at Franklin Field before at New Balance Nationals Outdoors, so he's very familiar with this track, and he is one of the best freshmen in the country.
Moving down the back stretch. Still A&M trying to relax. UVA in second.
I would also keep an eye on Villanova. Dan Waukee, like Matsatsa, came out of high school with a 146, 147, so he's very capable of really turning up the gears here.
Waukee with the glasses heading the chase pack. Through the first lap there. That was right around a 53-54 opening quarter. So right on that 147-ish pace that a lot of these guys have shown that they can crank out. But now UVA is trying to mount up a charge on the outside.
Yeah, UVA is going to put themselves in a great position to hand off to Gary Martin here on the anchor. But that front group of three, A&M, Virginia, and Georgetown, really battling against one another here.
I remember last year UVA ran Gary Martin on this leg, but ultimately ended up falling out of contention on the final sprint. He's going to get ready to take the baton on the anchor. It is A&M still in front. Here come the others, though.
Here comes the
Oregon
field, Carson,
and Duke. How about
field.
Duke? First time we've called their names all race. It's the Blue Devils. And now here comes Matsatsa for Georgetown.
And Waukee gets Villanova back into this race on the handoff here. Whitmarsh for A&M out in front. Martin for Virginia. Murphy there in the back of that front pack.
No sign of Simeon Birnbaum for the Ducks. Murphy makes two quick passes up over Oregon and Duke to get into fourth behind Gary Martin, who we know will be dangerous as well on that anchor. But right now it is Texas A&M leading it over Georgetown as they start to settle down a little bit.
Yeah, I would, Sam Whitmarsh is an incredible runner for A&M, who's run 340 for 1,500 meters and 144 for 800. So if you're looking at where everyone sits here, everyone's capable of performing at the highest levels here, NCAA caliber, championship caliber performances.
Gary Martin moving up on the outside. He set some PRs in the 1,500, 337.66 in that 354.73 over the full mile indoors. Just an explosive breakout sophomore campaign through the first lap.
And Gary's got to be a little confident too, because he just signed an NIL with Brooks this week. So newly tabbed Brooks running NIL athlete, Gary Martin.
And while we're on that note, of course, the Brooks Beasts did just set the new world record in the distance medley relay earlier at the Oregon Relays, that 9:14.58. Brandon Kidder, Brandon Miller, Isaiah Harris, and Henry Wren. Gary Martin's going to be part of that club now.
Yeah. With all that flurry of action in the 400 and 800 legs, really the 1,600 meter guys have been tactile over the last, first couple of laps here, and they're all within one another. It's anybody's race at this point.
Liam Murphy has taken the lead for the time being from Virginia. He's always patient when it comes to these anchors, but last year got out-kicked for second by Wisconsin, and that was his big fuel heading into the 4x mile. So we know he knows how to run angry. He can relate to his coach Marcus O'Sullivan on that, who experienced similar fates back in 1984 when he got out-kicked in the DMR, and he simply described it. He was mad. He was straight up mad after getting out-kicked that he came back with a unique fire in that 4x15 the next day, back when that was the collegiate men's longest relay. So Villanova, of course, they've got all the history on their side. On the men's side, 25 victories over the years.
These guys are chilling right now in this pack of 7.
Only growing, allowing all the kickers to latch on. It's going to come down to one final lap, per usual at the Penn Relays. But we always love to see some good racing, so we can't complain.
It's an evaluation of sorts when you start to make it a 400-meter race. What have you done to prepare yourself for this moment? We got Murphy, Martin, Whitmarsh in it.
Gary Martin looked like he was tempted to make a pass, but got squeezed out onto the outside and had to back off for a little bit. Liam Murphy He's been in the lead for a while and is going to try and hold on to that interior position.
Yeah, he just got to hold that line on his competition there from Duke. Murphy holding the line on the rail for Villanova extremely well, but watch out for Martin as he's positioning himself on the outside. Really good place to make a move here.
And don't forget about Georgetown either. They're in the lead. Oregon's still in the mix as well. The Ducks trying to mount a charge wide on the outside, and Liam Murphy for Villanova isn't done either. Coming down the home straightaway, Gary Martin. Is he going to go inside? Is he going to go outside? It's going to be Liam Murphy for Villanova. The veteran's going to bring it home for the Wildcats. 26 for Nova.
And I would credit Dan Waukee there in the 800-meter leg, kind of bringing back Villanova into the mix on the handoff, giving Murphy a great position to start working his magic.
9:35.90, the winning time. And we ultimately ended up sub 4 on